Hello everyone, my name is Alexander. I'm doing it with stuttering issues. I used to stutter a lot. There were times when I stuttered really badly and it caused me a lot of discomfort. I know how hard it is to live with stuttering, how many opportunities you lose, how many words, phrases and sentences go unsaid because you think that you will stutter, and this will bring you new disappointments, new negative emotions. This happened every day, almost every hour, especially when I tried to communicate a lot, particularly in school. My stuttering improved slightly but persisted. In college, oral exams, written tests were fine. Sometimes it was quite critical, and when, as if I understood what was better, I will not say anything. For example, I had no issues with written tests. After college, I went to the army, and it wasn't all that easy in the army either. My writing skills were well established since school. I went to the army. My stuttering stayed. After that, after the institute, I went into the army. And after the army, well, by the way, it wasn't all that sweet in the army either. The stuttering didn't just go away. I also tried to replace words sometimes, and in some cases it wasn't that I didn't pay attention, but I just stayed silent. It was easier for me to stay silent than to continue speaking in stressful daily situations. When those situations happened and people could see that I was stuttering, because it seemed to me that it would be somehow not dignified, to stutter. Not only did I stutter, but I also had I tried to speak with a lot of effort. So these were real super attacks, intense ones. It looked like very big, strong grimaces. So I know stuttering not just by hearsay, and I actually know how much can it affect your life. After the army, I came across a certain method, and it all started with a person stuttering, simply not managing their speech apparatus correctly. He needs to manage his speech apparatus. Intensive work lasts a month. The main work is based on this principle and involves intensive work lasting a month. During this time, the skill develops, as you can't solidify a skill confidently and unconsciously. So it turns out that the main work, yes, is based on this principle, and it involves such intensive work that lasts for a month. The skill develops because you can't master a skill. You can understand it, but need practice in just 2-3 days, because you can simply understand how to do it, but in many situations you can try it out. For a week, 2 or more, at work, at school, somewhere in the institute. If the words are produced normally by your speech apparatus without any glitches, stutters, or anything like that, so I don't strive for perfection, I strive for the norm. This is definitely my position, and I will stick to it, and I will also require my students whom I work with to adhere to this position. In speech, well, it's a normal concept when you want to strive for normal speech, when you want to completely eliminate it. Stuttering you shouldn't be scared there. If something isn't working out, you just need to always make the right analyses, the right conclusions. The problem with stuttering is still the speech freeze. You need to distinguish stuttering. It turns out that a person just stutters on certain words, right? So what's the point of wanting to call it stuttering? It's just a case of incorrect substitution of concepts. I just want to somehow convey to people the realities that they can achieve until a person realizes not just here, but also here on the tongue. So what and how he needs to do, he won't get into a normal pace of communication, that is normal human speech, and the main goal of our sessions is for something to change, not just for anything to change. Right here, right now on the video, it's to show other people that, for example, a person stuttered before and after, but that's not the main thing. So the demonstration will be such that it shows the principle of human capabilities. And the main goal is for a person to not only be with me. I somehow learned to talk to him for an hour, but when it comes to other people around, who does he want to do this with? That is, there at school, at the institute, at work, somewhere on the street. The method works in such a way that a person comes more precisely to the approach. He starts to stutter. I analyze his speech, see what he struggles with, and explain everything to him, breaking it down step by step, making an outline so that he understands, and when he gets it, he starts to implement it. He begins to use these tools. I make some kind of breakdown, yes, so that he understands, and when he gets it, he starts to implement it. He begins to use these tools here and now, and he can do it. In fact, a person might even achieve this in half an hour. So he will start working with me. Yes, it is clear that at first it will be a speech, some kind of robotic. That is, the initial goal is to get rid of stupors. Then gradually he comes to a normal speaking pace. It It would be abnormal if a person stuttered for many years and then suddenly something was explained to him and he sang like a nightingale for the rest of his life. That would be great, but unfortunately that's not the case. If something isn't working, what should we do here? To explain correctly, to guide the person, to work with him properly. Help! In 4 years of work, I had about 60 students working in this market. I understand that people can be afraid of me, afraid of anyone, and that's normal. So they don't know me personally, they don't know my friends, relatives, acquaintances. They might have some concerns, like whether I'm perhaps a fraud or not. I provide guarantees for that. Basically, it's even taken into account. In the contract, I created a special agreement which outlines many points, what I do and what a strong person should do. And if my student is not sick, not a patient, but a student, he follows these points. The contract is there. He adheres to the rules, the advice and recommendations, which I talk about several times, sometimes by the dozens. I guarantee a refund if he follows my advice and fails. I guarantee that if he does this, and if he doesn't succeed, I will refund him 100%. This happens because I know my expertise. I know that it works for other people. No one can give a complete guarantee because that would be stupid. For example, a person comes to a sales training and they say that, for instance, in a month you'll be selling hundreds of thousands of rubles. That would be stupid because no one can tell you for sure how you will learn. That is, I am not undergoing treatment, but training. That is, some courses are being given, some information. I provide information that will need to be applied later, tested out in one's personal experience regarding guarantees. I will say specifically that if a person can use it, if he does it, he likes it several times, then he will definitely use it again and again. That is, he will strive for it, and he will already know that somewhere. He was able to speak without stuttering, without stupors. It was convenient for him, comfortable, and this will stimulate him to the fact that he also consciously made speeches in others and in other situations that will surround him. I guide a person all the way to the end. So if I start working with him, I will work with him until he fully grasps the information that I want to convey to him. Until he fully grasps the information that I want to convey to him. And if he doesn't understand something, I always have feedback available. People can call me on Skype at any time, but mostly it happens through voice messages. By the way, it's a convenient format for communication. It's a very convenient format for receiving feedback. When a person can send you voice messages every day, and you can also respond to them with your voice, discussing possible questions that may arise. Don't be afraid of questions, everyone can have them. The main thing is to provide a professional response to them correctly and in a timely manner that will help a person figure things out here and now, how to say this word or phrase in a normal way, without stuttering, without pauses. The best format for conducting sessions is in-person meetings. Since when a person is there in person, you can see and hear them directly, yes. And if a person can't meet in person, then they can connect via Skype. Same time, it's very desirable for that person to have proper equipment and a good internet speed, so that actually it was the most closely related format. For an in-person meeting, you could, for example, travel to Electrostal, as a personal meeting is also possible in Moscow or in the Moscow region. Either I can come to you or people can come to me. For some people from the regions, it's convenient for them to come. For example, the hotel in Electrostal, the Apelsin Hotel, is located in Electrostal. And actually to film for several days, but that was in the past. Right now I'm not conducting 3 sessions there in Odessa, so I'll return to what will be Apelsin sessions, then Skype, 2-3 days, and then we'll continue with sessions on Skype.